me, mentorship is helping someone through this process and helping them to discover if this work is for them, because it's not always for everyone, or what other work would be helpful for them, or just helping you process how traumatic birth can be sometimes and what you experience and what you're seeing. Because when you're in the medical industrial complex, it's not always easy to communicate with the provider or to communicate with the nurse. And so oftentimes not being able to process that and what happened to you. For me, mentorship means helping you find community in this work, whether that's with me or a group of other women, to really help you through this process. Look on their website, read their stories, invite them out for coffee, tea, lunch, if you can. Get to know them a little bit more and see if you're a right fit, because you might meet someone and you might not be the right fit. Or you might find that, they're a little impatient. All of those things you should be looking out for. Also, it's like speed dating. You meet someone and it's an instant connection. It's the same thing with doulas. You meet someone and you have more questions and you feel uncomfortable or uneasy about the interactions, then she's not the one for you. You're always going to be learning something from someone. Do I think that you need to be with one person throughout your entire career? No. I do feel that you can learn from a lot of different people, and that might be helpful. But I think ultimately at the end, it's about building community, right? And finding your tribe and who you can speak to, like-minded, that are really looking to grow in this work and that can help you flourish as well. And by grow, it means you meet maybe once a month. I still meet with my doula cohorts once a month, and every month we talk about various things around birth or just our lives. But always be a forever learner, be listening to little tidbits of information that can help. So I think mentorship is important. I think it's something that you can step away from and come back into if you find that, okay, I feel like I know everything, and then something might happen. It's like therapy, right? You find a therapist and you're with her for a while, or him for a while, then you feel like you have all the information and the tools you need. You step away and something happens and you might come back. You might come back to that same mentor or a different one. But I think you should always explore. Find your community, find your tribe. And it doesn't necessarily have to be doulas who are just starting out. It could be doulas who have been doing this for a year, 2 years, but definitely find your tribe. Look for mentorship. It is truly important to have mentorship through this work. Seek out people who have been doing this work for a long time, but it doesn't always have to be a doula. It could be someone who is a past doula, who is now an IBCLC, as a board certified lactation counselor. It can be a midwife who was a doula, who's now a midwife. It can be anyone in the facet of birth work, a past doula. It doesn't always have to be someone who is current. And then the third, be a forever learner. Just always be curious about learning new things and understanding what's going on at different hospitals. I think one of the good things that has happened throughout this pandemic was that it really helped people to seek information. What is this hospital doing? What is that? And that's something that we're going to need to keep in our repertoire always, just to understand how things change as far as doulas being accepted into hospitals or doulas working with different providers. I just want to say too that I don't think it's always a great thing to ask about working with a specific provider. Doulas ask that question a lot on doula forums. And I just have to say that we are always growing and changing, and so everyone is. And that doctor may have done something to another doula perceived was, malfeasant 3 years ago. They might have changed and learned from it. But I don't think you taking on that energy of knowing what you know at one birth, at one particular time, to your clients or into the hospital with that doctor is going to be helpful. Be open to experiencing in that moment what's going on with your client and that doctor. Now, if it's something as a particular protocol that they might have, okay, when do they induce? That's something different. But to find out how they are at birth work, we're not the same at every birth. How can someone become my mentee? I would say reach out to me. That's the first. You can email me Annette at clearbirth.nyc. Make sure that you put in the subject mentorship. You can call me, invite me out to eat, or text me and say, hey, I'm a new doula. I'm interested in meeting with you. But I think email is the first foray into doing that because it's a little bit easier. Also understand it might take me, I try to get back to people within 24 hours. So if it's taking me a little bit longer to get back to you, just reach back out again with kindness. Hey, I sent you an email a couple of days ago. So to follow up. And those are ways. You can go to my website. I will have a section also too on my website about mentorship and what I offer. Yeah, and I'm looking forward to meeting with you.